WesWes Show.
Welcome everybody to another Empty Out the Clip podcast, the EOTC. I'm your host Cams, with the brothers over here, and a special guest today on the Empty Out the Clip because the brother Eric's gone to paradise. He's on his way to Rarotonga with his family for a 2-week holiday, fun in the sun.
Get a new tan on his legs.
And obviously he's not here because he has to work afternoon shift. We've got the brother Yush from the Zealous State of Mind podcast.
What up?
What's up, cuz? How are you?
Good to be here. Good, thanks.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks for answering the call, man, and jumping on.
No, I was keen. My wife had they had to get to a family service, but lucky they're going to go tomorrow instead, so it worked out well.
Oh, yeah, nice. Good to have you, bro. You know the drill, boys. We're going to do some shout-outs. Start with you, let's.
Oh, man. My shout-outs to everyone who's felt the cold in the last week, man. I'm like wearing like 2 jumpers and a singlet, man, and some track pants and some running shoes. But shout-out to everyone trying to keep warm at home. Another shout-out to Eric as well. The last gone to his trip that he was telling us about. It's probably the best time to go for a trip. Shout-outs to others as well, and also to I wanted to make a shout out to Make Smiles. I know the boys been putting in the work, and shout out to Sid as well. The boys putting in the work with his squash. I think he's into the mini tournament top 5. So yeah, all the best, mates. And we know you'll go well, man. We're always supporting you every step of the way. And my last one's out to my girl Lauren. So yeah, she's on school holidays now, but yeah, she needs to stay active, man, because don't let this weather scare you off trying to do anything else. So, yeah, shout out to her.
Shout outs, I guess, because moving on from Avondale, so shout out to all the Avondale people, all my old colleagues, all the learning support development crew, PE department, and especially the teams I worked with, the basketball boys and girls, and our first 15, they got a dub yesterday, another one, so they've had really successful season. So shout out to all the Avondale 828 crew. Yeah, we had a good party on Friday, so sort of a good farewell, good day. So shout out to all those peeps.
Nice, Oos. Just want to make a shout out to all the listeners out there, all the WesWes Network listeners, and all listeners to the Empty Out the Clip. Go check out our Facebook group page, the Empty Out the Clip podcast Facebook group page. Just go in, answer the 3 questions, and our security will let you in. This is your chance to throw in your 5 cents in the comments or on the posts, and we'll discuss whatever topics get posted on that page. So shout out to you guys. This episode is brought to you by Brownies by a Brownie. It's a startup business serving delicious chocolate caramel brownies. So that's Brownies by a Brownie on Instagram. So go check that out. Thanks, boys. How's your week been?
So the week's been tough, man. Like I said, bro, it's cold, eh? And you pretty much already know the drill, man. When I feel the cold, that's like gout alert. Hey, you need to know where it's coming in. Is it the knees, the ankles, the feet? But nah, it's just been cold. It's like, yeah, knowing me, because I usually just wear the trousers and the work polo. Fuck, I'm good to go, man. Like, but just this week, bro, it's been hard because of the cold, eh? Like, I can usually like handle it, like having a cold, like a hot shower, then that's me for the day. But I've been struggling, eh? I always like to having a shower. Should I text in? But yeah, that's been getting the better of me, man. Like, but I just keep thinking, like, nah, just man up and handle it. It's just 2 more days, then 1 more day, then come the weekend. Like, man, I did my list of haircuts first thing Saturday morning. After that, man, I was like, hurry up, 11 o'clock. Like, I just wanted to get the last one done. Yeah. So I could go back inside and sit down and get on warm under the blanket in the heat pump, man. Yeah. I was like, man, I must be getting soft, eh?
Because it's cold, people want to keep their hair on their head.
Oh,
just
man.
Try to get warm and not get a haircut.
You find a good barber, man, and stick to him, be loyal to your barber, man. Like, I'm telling everyone, man, because once you get a mistake in your head, man, I see some shocking videos, man. But yeah, that's what happened to me, man. I had to shave my head, man. I was like, flip, I'll start again. But yeah. What about you, Yush? How's your week been, man? Look epic, your photos, your farewell drinks.
Yeah. like with the cold, because I was grew up in Aussie and then moved here, and I hated it. Hated the cold here, the rain all the time and stuff. So, but then just like over time, sort of still hate it. Don't like it, but I don't know. Just sort of try to accept it as best as I can. But yeah, it's been tough. Trying to get washing done and things like that. But no, it was good. It was a good last week at Avondale. Everybody was really hospitable, from my department, and some of the students, they gave me cards and chocolate, and the rugby boys made like this frame with some pictures and quote and things like that, and then my department, they gave me shout out to my department, they gave me like heaps of gifts. They gave me a couple of books, Tyson Fury, Cameron Haynes, so like stuff I like, and then they gave me like a robe. Do you guys have a robe?
Man, explain. What does it look like?
So no, it was just because I've never ever thought of getting a robe. Like I don't know,
just wear around the house.
No, I just never thought of it. Like I see other people. I've always for like old people or like rich people. I just didn't think I knew. But I put it on, man. I was like, where's this been my whole life? It's comfy as it's real silky, and it's like perfect for watching footy and that.
Yeah,
man, you have a feed, have your snacks, you have your room and watch the games and stuff.
Sounds like you're coming of age, guys.
It's nice, So now shout out to my department, and they gave me some chocolates and stuff, and then like the students, look after this kid, and he barely says anything, and like. He's not really, he doesn't like hugs, or not that I try to hug them, but he doesn't want to make small talk and things like that, like he just wants to get the job done in and out. I don't want to be your friend type of thing, let's just do our work. But he wrote on the card, one of the best I've ever seen in my life. And so to get some kind words out of him, it was pretty, that was a bit of a highlight. When he wrote on the card. So, but no, everybody was really, felt appreciated, from the crew and that, and you realize like, oh shit, like you forget about some of the things you've done and that, and the impact, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, and so yeah, it was pretty sad. It was a bit sad, but then also excited to move on. But I actually learned to enjoy my job over the years. Like the first year was pretty hard because everything was new. The school was so big and everything. There's a lot to take in. Then I started to know students and staff, and I slowly enjoyed it more and more. So yeah, it was a bit sad at the end, but I think I went out in a good way. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it was a good week. Yeah.
And I never wore a robe, but I see them on TV. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to see them on TV. Like they come in the shower with a robe. And I was like,
you're gonna say the Playboy mentioned on
TV? Is that
TV and movies? Like, oh man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You were here for that. Yeah. Have you got a robe now, you guys?
Nah, but always interested in seeing how it goes.
Are you curious?
Yeah.
It's worth it, man. It's worth it.
I don't know if they were making you my size was there.
Have you got one or not?
Nah.
Let's be honest, guys.
I'm a punchy sort of guy,
But now that I've got one, I recommend it. It's good, like to watch movies or sports.
Yeah.
But you need a specific kind, a puffy one, a big one. Not like a towel one.
I don't know, but my one's apparently it's a fancy one too. My wife was saying it's just like real silk, nice, and like just keeps you a little bit warm, But I guess there's different types. But the one I got, no complaints. It's nice.
For some strange reason, I'm thinking, Ken's thinking, not the Rocky Balboa one, the American Apollo Creed one,
Nah, I recommend it.
Yeah, man, I had a good week, Maybe not because I was sick, but but it was cool at work because my boss, he introduced this new thing. He brought in his personal trainer for us. So he brought in a personal trainer to train us twice a week during our lunch break. So it was mean because the boss and everyone else, they pulled their cars out of the parking lot, and then we trained in there just for that time. So it was pretty cool because the trainer set up 8 stations, and we just had to rotate every 30 seconds. You have to rotate. You can do 2 rounds of that, 2-minute break, and then another 2 rounds. Sorry, man, I was wasted, man. I don't want to go back after halftime.
Ready to clock out?
Ready to clock out at halftime, but nah, I went back and did those last 2 rounds, and it was good, man. Felt good. Those endorphins, were just got those endorphins at the end, man. But that was good, eh? That was that. So it's she's gonna come for the next 5 weeks.
Mean.
Yeah.
Well,
good,
when was the last time you like did something hard like before this?
Because I'm at the gym now. I'm at
Oh, yeah.
Westside Fitness, and I do the I did the class they call Primal, which is just a bodyweight class,
Yeah.
half an hour.
Oh, so you sort of used to some
And that's pretty hard.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
So it wasn't too new sort of thing. Doing something.
But the interval training, the HIIT training is gonna hit different. It's gonna benefit you when you go back to primal, especially your body weight stuff.
Yeah, it did, because I haven't done this one before, but it looked like it was a full body workout. So it was like 8 stations, so 4 stations were your legs, then the next 4 stations was above your waist. But man, it took a lot out, eh?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's similar to F45.
Yeah, it is
F45.
similar.
Sounds
Sort of like the
like
30
it,
on,
yeah,
15 off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good you get to do it during work time.
Straight up, eh?
And
Not that
boss
sweating
is-
back to your desk kid. What was that? What's all that steam coming off you?
Oh, there's showers at work, so
But it's good though.
so we can
No,
take
yeah.
showers.
it's probably
during
good,
work
man.
time. That's good. And
Yeah.
if you're work buddies, it'll be
But
Yeah.
I wanted to join because, 1, I didn't have to go to the gym that day after work,
yeah.
so it saves time.
It's done. Yeah.
And 2, I can save money at lunchtime, so I don't have to buy lunch, because after the training, man,
You
my
don't feel
appetite's
like it?
gone, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
Appetite's gone. You know,
Yeah.
so another bonus there.
Mean.
So every Tuesday, Friday at work for next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But unfortunately, that day I did on Tuesday, at the end of it, I felt itch in my throat, eh? And then the next day was like headache.
Go Vicky.
And yeah, man. Like it wasn't, but I was sick, eh? I was at flu.
That's the old life leaving you. It's the spirit saying, "Lavang ha, that's enough. That's enough." And now you got a taste of it. It's like, let's go, bring it on.
Yeah,
New week.
And I was stink because I already had the flu jab last month. And then I got flu, so fuck. Don't know what happened there, but so I stayed there on Thursday and Friday, and I remembered because I stayed there on Friday because I was sick. I had my cousin offered me free tickets to the Warriors game
Oh,
that
yeah.
Friday, but I told him, "Oh man, I'll try and come, but I got the flu. I'm just trying to get over the flu. But if I'm better later on, maybe I'll come." But then it started to rain outside, and you texted me, "Oh man, I think there's a storm outside. You sure you want to come, man? You want to stay home?" But yeah, man. Then it was that, and there's a topic I want to bring up next for us to talk about, that Warriors game, man.
That was legit. Like,
the Gower
you know,
Stadium.
if sound effects could be like transferred through the hearing, but actual real life, you know what I mean? Like if you can watch a screen, but the sound is happening live.
Yeah.
Because so they really keyboard. It was like, is that the TV or the house? Because I just heard this. And even the wind, I was like, when the rain was going inside, I was like, well, I can really hear the wind coming from the left,
Because
right.
usually
right,
they can
yeah.
sort of get it out.
Yeah. But I was like, nah, man. I was
Yeah.
like full on effects. Shout out to TV3 for screening that live too.
Yeah. That would have been tough yards, that day.
Yeah. Did you guys go?
Nah, Nikita went though.
Oh,
she
yeah.
She went. So I haven't seen her since Wednesday. She's in Oz now, but I haven't seen her since Wednesday. She went to the game, went straight to work, and they boarded her flight on Saturday morning and left.
Oh.
But I was like, that's a bad idea. We caught this raining. Just too late. Really committed, man.
Well, see, if you think about the build up to that game, that was the first Warriors game in the Gower Stadium for ages. Eh? That's the
Yeah.
name of the day.
Is it?
Gower Stadium, is it?
Is it off?
TV1 Go, is it? Or
I don't know.
It's always
Mount Smart.
sponsor, eh?
It's always Mount Smart. Eh? Mount
Sponsor.
Smart. But I think the commentator said the Rabbits haven't played here in 4 years, so that was good for them.
But they got a lot of fans, man.
They got
A lot of the
fans,
camera
yeah.
angles, like, it's only there. You can hear the cheering over the rain.
There is
How was that, man?
there is a lot of Rabbitohs
Yeah,
here
yeah.
the way. I know a couple as well.
Yeah. Nah, there's heaps.
I don't know where that comes from. Is that just because they're one of the original clubs, or I don't know?
Possibly, yeah. They won the match premierships there.
Yeah. Is it no St George?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
I think they're one of them. Yeah. But they're one of
Them
the
in St.
original-
George, eh?
I think St George is the first.
First dynasty.
Oh no, they've won the most championships.
Man, but for a club, they almost exited the NRL.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
Daddy, the guy came along, and then look at them now. They're trying to go for a Parramatta story, but nah, leave it alone, mate. Leave it alone.
Yeah. What impressed me about that game was probably not the game itself, but just everybody going to the game, like the whole walk.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I a cousin of mine, he's seen a photo with his wife at Costco, and they were alone at the eating place. No one around. It was empty. And they were like, man, I'm surprised there's no one here.
I believe you, man.
There's no one here. And I was thinking, do you know why there's no one there? Because everyone's at Mount Smart Stadium. Everyone's at the game. But man,
It's true, man.
that was a sold out game, right? Rain or shine, the Warriors fans showed up, And to me, that was more impressive than the game itself, you know?
More impressive than the Blues.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the sad part about it. But no, you're right. My first customer Saturday morning, he battled the rain and he just finished up his job. But he said, bro, like he's never once to go shy away from the rain. But him and his boys were like, we need to go sit in our seats. Which is like, damn. But the football, bro, the way they were playing with weather, bro, the Warriors, first 10, man, hands down off, bro, they're gonna apply the pressure and eventually crack.
First try.
Yeah, man, cracked them, and when they scored, and then after that, it was like, can you hear the rain? It's pretty hard to watch.
I think it's 0 errors from Rabbitohs in the first half. Ended up to be 3 in total.
Yeah,
and that's impressive in itself, for
especially
like
for that sort of
environment game like
weather.
that.
Yeah.
Like going to a few games like that. Like I went to the Blues Crusaders a couple of years back, the final, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously they lost, they got a hiding. Plus, like we were braving it out there in the rain. We had those ponchos on,
yeah.
and like the players. I don't know if they know, but it's tough being a supporter. You know what I mean? Like you got to get the park. You know, walk down there. You're cold in the rain, and they get a hiding, and you're like, and they're getting paid the dollars, you know, and you're and you're just spending money, getting sick, you know, getting pneumonia, man, and stuff like Straight that. Up. It's like they gotta try it now. They gotta try harder now.
and that is why no one should complain when the Waikato Chiefs fan boo the ref at their final.
Yeah, very sure.
You know, that's why they shouldn't complain.
But I felt sorry for the Warriors supporters, because you know they've been.
It's been a while since they've had a home game. Was it the Tigers or?
And that was it, That was a factor why it was packed. But just I think the game itself as well. The Warriors and.
But I think the city's needed it ever since there's no more Super Rugby on. So I think it was a good thing. But I think timing as well for the calendar and just to have that game back here because. Obviously, Moana wasn't going to make the semis or the finals. So to have the stadium back and to come back like that after round 10 is like, man, that's massive, because I knew tickets were hard to grab. I think the ports bought up a shitload of tickets. So that grandstand would have been packed. But even just watching people battle the rain, man, like you imagine,
it's pretty hard out, man.
Like when you see the picture, it was like, bro, is that my TV or is that the actual rain? Like it was in different shades, especially when they're cut from different angles, and you can see like one side was lit up, the other side it just looked like it had this white mesh over the screen, man. Because it was like, fuck, that's the rain, man.
And like you know, you got your wallet and you got your cards and things. Your phone's gonna get wet. And
yeah, man.
It's pretty good commitment from the Warriors supporters. The other thing I thought was like how winning solves everything.
Yeah.
You know, like the Warriors have been winning, so they start to come back. You know, they come back and it's cool, man. Like my brother-in-law, he plays for Marist and they played Richmond yesterday. So Marist have been doing well. I think they're coming 4th and I think Richmond 2nd or something. Yeah. And then I was like, because I didn't go watch it. It was terrible weather. But I was asking him, I was like, did some of the Richmond fans come back? Are they back? You know, they're winning. He's like, yeah. And like, even them, like, they're doing well. So it works, If you get the results, people will come back, like the old supporters and things like that. That's just a little side thought I just noticed, like with the Warriors and then the Marist and Richmond game, you know what I mean?
Because where are they? They're sitting like 5th or 6th.
I think they're down to 5th, I think.
The Warriors.
Warriors. Yeah. But, you know, they've been doing well. So
when they're doing well.
People will brave that, you know. That's how powerful winning is,
Yeah. Straight up.
But I'm too old, like, you know, with the robe and that, man. I don't go to those games anymore. I never win because, like, if family or someone I know is playing. Yeah. But other than that, I'd rather watch from home with my my popcorn and chocolate and my robe, man. It's tough.
They're sitting in 7th place at the moment. Obviously, because there's games played. There's been games played yesterday and today.
But it's good to see the Warriors doing well. Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah,
them
it
doing
is,
well,
man.
It's not my team, but it's just good to see a New Zealand team.
I was
doing well.
surprised at watching how many minutes Fanua Black played and like the aggression he holds for that time period. Like he went like 38 or 28 minutes before he actually got pulled off. But man, he was touching the ball at least twice in every set. He was busy. He's like for a big man, like that's rare to see in the NRL at the moment, apart from Payne Haslett.
He can pull in a report too because of that high shot.
Controversial, but then I think that's the lazy play. That's a lazy play, like turning around and then Dean up again. I think that's probably his one of his weakest bits in his game.
It was interesting that send off because that was right on the Warriors' line, but the Rabbitohs chose to kick for goal.
Yeah, I would have did the same. Because if the points didn't come later on, you never know. You would have still been down by 2, especially in the rain like that. But yeah, I just thought like, man, just his energy, and then it just when he went off, it sort of depleted their spirit a bit, and then because you got the big guy off, you sort of lick it. Come on, man, someone step up, man. The guy that just went missy. When he went off, he pretty much took that like that mana on the team, just disappeared with it.
Yeah,
I was impressed with Souths too because that's the typical kind of win for those guys. Because they looks like for me when I watch them play, they grind out their wins. Like their team to me, they got nothing flashy. They just do the job, and they just get those wins. I think this is their first win in the last four games, 4 or 3 games. They've been on a losing streak before this one. But
I always like watching Cody Walker,
Yeah.
Man, his ball skills, and his vision, and he's sort of got like that natural ball playing ability, That not many of them have these days,
Yeah, I think it's his depth the where he stands. I think it's like Cherry Evans as well. When he stands flat, he's always got his like his backdoor plays. I think they talk about block plays. When he's working off his block plays, he's good because he's ready for the next passes. Like Cherry Evans, he's the same. If you're gonna show and go, he'll show and go.
Yeah,
and he's much likely to break free and then offload.
Yeah,
that's why I think when Kolomatangi's on, if he does a half break, the pass is on. And it's like they guarantee because once the second row is through, the wingers and the fullback are always there every bloody play, which is like it's hard to watch it because like when you don't want them to score, every team that can do that past the first line of defense, but it's like fuck, they're gonna score. But yeah, I think for them it obviously works, but just the close ball shit is like it's real close, because even that try from dummy half, I think it was just to the block runner. It was controversial because they got caught it.
Is that the Murray one?
The Murray one. Yeah. But at the same time, it was like fuck, because you can't D up on it.
Yeah,
and obviously someone got stuck in. But when you watch those sort of tries, you just think fuck, that's as old as touch back in the day, man. Like it's the same sort of plays, but they work. But they just executed it good, like in the weather.
But I like watching him, and
he had a good game, and he probably from this game alone made his way into the New South Wales.
I saw that coming. So who do you stand down? Does Luai get the shot? Or
you have to shut down those guys.
But you know what? I heard the boys talk about it, about moving guys around and playing them out of position. Like, and I shared on my story the other day, like Sean Berrigan, mean centre, but he could play 9. There's no excuse, man. If you're picking up players to play, like unless you're a big man, and you can play, like, remember Maguire? The second row, you can play hooker for the tour. Like, this is the professional day, right?
You're a football player.
You're a football player. Like, take it from when Billy Slater and Craig Inglis were wingers. But you're supposed to bleed their blood anyway. Even if you're picking a squad of 26, you should have a squad of 32. Because you need the guys in case they get injured. Tell the clubs, look, we need them just in case. That's the whole purpose why you do it. Like, here there's crying and shit. Okay, he wasn't actually training. He came in last minute. If that's the way they're picking their squads in the professional era, well, something's fucking clearly wrong in New South Wales, man. Because if I picked the New South Wales team, I can guarantee that team would be bloody good.
Yeah.
But isn't it? Yeah. Just sick of all the excuses, man. Like, people don't want to remember the team who got picked and like, the inform. That shit doesn't matter, man. Pick the team with the most chemistry combinations at club and just stick with them and build the team around the spine. Like Queensland have done the last 4 years.
Well, you just exactly explained the way Queensland has picked their squad. So,
but it's on the back of them having them ready. Like Cherry Evans, he was a clear front runner when Manly was doing good and Thurston's team was sort of bottom of the table. But at State of Origin, he was always going to be behind them. And then eventually when Thurston left, it was like Cherry Evans has been there the whole time. Yeah. But that's not overnight. That's over years of just being ready.
You had to wait his time, eh?
Yeah, man. I think, that's just...
It reminds me of how guys like Scotty Prince, and he never got a chance, eh?
Oh, straight up, and especially for the Aussies, man. Yeah.
When he's the Tigers and stuff.
Man, when he was on, bro. Like, that early English days when Prince was around, like, man, you wouldn't have thought, like, bro. Or you ask yourself, well, where did he go after that, eh?
He had a few bad injuries too,
yeah.
His knee and stuff like that, eh? But I thought I know we're doing the Warriors, but just a quick thing on the Origin. I thought when I watched it, it's not really like, to me, it's not really a selection thing. They just don't have like the tightness that Queensland have. I feel like they feel like they're brothers, the Queensland team, and then when you see New South Wales, they're not quite as tight. I don't know how they get that in terms of like they're playing for each other on like a deeper level, because they're all like competitive, they're all skillful, they're all tough. They're all doing their best. New South Wales, they're training, trying hard. You know what I mean, to win. But I feel like they don't have that tightness where you go the extra little bit. You know what I mean? Oh, that's just my opinion.
The thing
that's the thing they're missing.
The thing is the identity of Queensland Rugby League in itself.
Yeah. It's more like that.
Always being the little brother to...
Yeah, it's more that, to me.
As
opposed to the selection of players. It's like, how do we get our guys? Maybe they just have to do like a couple of drinking sessions together, just to like get everyone tight, you know what I mean? It's not really playing the game, like a special game plan. It's just the extra efforts.
But I thought after watching 9 and they had, was it Brian Fletcher doing the interviews, you can obviously see the cliques that go in at groups at a time just to get on camera and mock each other. Like, I would have thought, okay, that group's close. Like, obviously the Penrith boys are always going to be together. Yeah. But whether they mix it or not, like put the senior boy with a younger guy, whether Reece Walsh will go with another guy from the forward pack or something, someone who's been seasoned.
Yeah.
Whether they do that makes you wonder, because you're right, man. Like,
that's just my opinion. The way I see it when I was watching.
But you can see that. Yeah, you can see that on the field when they take the field. Like, I think what's his name, Tino. Like he went from bench to starting. But that guy's like, even if it's way off the ball, he'd run across the field to come and defend on someone, right? Like, that's the sort of the mongrel. That's the sort of mongrel you want to be like, nah, man, we're not folding. Like, he's come forward, we're just gonna stand. We're not gonna.
Yeah.
But when you watch New South after the first 2 tries, they look depleted, like they've already given up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They got a better team to select from, man. Like, there's no way. It just puzzles me. They got all those players and selections, but I think they just already need to have those combos already going, like now and last year, not on the hope of, okay, we'll go with the form guys.
Yeah.
Because they're going with form, and what's up, almost 6-1 almost, after this week, so after the next game, it'll be 6. It's like...
No, because obviously you need, like, the skills, the game plan, the technical side of things and everything like that. But then, because everybody's fit, they're all professional, what's that next thing, eh? Like, you see in any sport where it's... the chemistry and I don't know.
I think it's the buy-in.
All that sort of stuff.
It's the buy-in to the story.
Yeah.
And you got to.
I feel like that's the missing piece. I don't know how they're going to cultivate that though.
But you got to give credit to Mel Meninga when he had a stint there, because he's the guy that got the boys to buy into the narrative of Queensland. We are the underdogs. Remember, we are the underdogs. Yeah, we won in a row, but we're still underdogs. In the eyes of New South Wales, like, those guys own rugby league, and we're just in there. So we always punch above our weight, sort of thing. So that's why we got to win every single time. So, and I think because of that, everyone that plays for Queensland, they just understand. They just understand what being an underdog is about. And I think I think New South Wales needs to have some kind of identity from not in the same form.
In their way, yeah.
In their own way.
Yeah.
What makes New South Wales successful?
Yeah.
Like, we are the big brother. Why are we the big brother?
Yeah, right. And let's play off that.
Let's play off that and not try to be something that we think we're not.
Yeah.
Which I think is happening.
Yeah.
So.
Do you cut Loy though?
I think so for game 3. I think the game is lost. The series is lost. So I think it's good to have this game 3 to just try and bring up some other guys in.
Is Nico Hines available?
He should be.
He should be.
Yeah, I think they went wrong from the beginning. He's like Daily M Player of the Year, and he's on the bench. So I would have started him with Cleary and I had Luai, because Luai could probably do a hooker or play a bit of 13 or off the bench, that 14 role. I think he would have did that role better than Nico, because Nico dominated in that Indigenous game too. So to me, it showed me that he can play at the highest level and take over a game still. So
because he won the player of the game that match.
Yeah. And then he had his club game for the Sharks the week after, and he tried too hard. And it was the only game I've seen him play bad.
Yeah.
But I think because he was trying to get in the squad, he was probably forcing it a bit. But I still think he's the man. I would have went him and Cleary. Yeah. But because Cleary's out, Cleary and Walker.
Here's a question for you, Yush. You're a coach, and you love the game of rugby league, and you also played it. How much emphasis do you put on combinations? Obviously, New South Wales have a lot of talented players, but it seems like they're going for combinations. Like you got the pair of halves, but if someone like other guys have shown, they do a good job, would you put them in? Would you break up some chemistry just to get some real or some form guys in there?
I think chemistry matters, but I think they're all like you were saying. They're all footy players.
Yeah.
I think they should be able to adapt that. But it does play a little role. But I think at the origin level, whoever steps in should be able to fill the role and do their best, because they're all onto it, man. Like they played since they're little kids. They can pick things up.
A lot of them would have played
different positions, and they grew up.
Positions you wouldn't I think putting Turbo at centre.
That's not that big a deal, I reckon.
Yeah, well, they got so many fullbacks to select from, but it's almost like I would play him at fullback, but then give another guy playing Burden.
A real centre?
Yeah, put in a real centre and a guy who can play both. Because, what Queenslanders have been doing is not going to necessarily work for New South, but because I think those guys would have been told during the season, I remember Mel would have done it. Who would have been? It would have been like when English was on the scene. He would have told him, there's a possibility I could be giving you a call, make yourself available to play centre and wing. So that would have been straight to the top to the Storm, prepare him, put him under the high ball, because eventually if we need him, we might actually move him there. In the end, they didn't pick him at centre. He ended up on the wing, but then fullback was like, okay, you got a kid, he can play fullback and he can play wing, but we're not actually gonna put him at fullback. We'll put him on the wing. When you're in the professional era, bro, just do it. If your club's not training you there, you go and do it anyway. Or you go, because you'll be allowed to go play some football or second division football just to get used to it. So the amount of time you have in between Origin series, that's a full year, man. So the fact that New South you can clearly see that they're not doing it. They're doing it last minute. Obviously they wouldn't run it at training because you can see it on the game. When they move Nico Hines out into centre, they should have just moved him out one position from his natural position, not put him out
Cool.
Oh, I'm just saying don't go put him somewhere foreign, because it showed on defence, man. He got caught out, and that's what you do want to do is pay out one position or two positions out on defence and then get caught. That's where the points come on. And he was clearly outpaced on the outside, where he couldn't defend.
Yeah, it's a bit weird they put Cook in centre and they got thing on the bench.
You would have put a second row, second row. Because
second row.
They run a similar line. They're used to playing on the edge.
It's just the hardest part of knowing all of that is that the fact that it was Brad Villa and enjoyed that. They're immortals, man. Fine. Look at the little things they're doing to that team. Is making the series weak.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're second row, you can sort of play centre.
Naturally,
yeah. But it's
I thought I'd enjoy the series win, but it's like a ugly series win. You know what I mean? I didn't see anything changing going to Suncorp.
Yeah, there's been a lot of feedback on podcasts on some Australian ones. I listened to Willie Mason's one because he was with he was watching the game live with some of the old
Most of the
Queensland guys.
guys, yeah.
There, everyone was saying the same thing. Like, man, New South Wales are just playing bad. You know, just bad. Like they shouldn't even be there. Like that's not Origin level.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like,
It's, for New South, it's far from it, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice those guys. They don't have because like Queensland, they have like Thurston wandering around and GI and all that. Some of the old legends. I don't know. Did New South Wales do that? In the sheds?
Fuck no, because I
because things like that. I think it's little things like that helps a lot.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
should have some of the old legends just walking around the sheds and just sort of like make the because when you're people superior to you or whatever, you sort of straighten up a bit.
Yeah.
If you've got John sort of looking at you, not even saying anything, he's like, "Oh, I better take this seriously." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy's gonna rip my head off. Because some of those old guys are, they're competitive and they're more angry than players. Like, they want to see the team do well. So I think even if they don't even say anything, just having them around, can be a good thing.
I think it's good that what he is saying it though on the pods, like just saying it as he sees it. Because if it's not being said, well, how many guys are actually thinking it without it coming across, Because, right, it's actually quite weak to see the New South Wales team suffering like that. Like, I didn't think we were going to be too up. I was hoping for a bit more.
But, like when you play any sports really, like because for me it was mainly about basketball, league, rugby. If you don't have like the tightness, you just don't play as hard for each other.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of what team it is. Like you are playing your best, but I don't know, it just doesn't bring out this extra effort, extra passion that you maybe have inside it. Whereas if you are a tight group, I played in tight groups and I played in ones where we're all sort of just more companions, and it makes a big difference.
All right, last question. One question for you: who would you replace Fittler at the helm if you were to get rid of him at the end of this game?
Probably us, Ivan Cleary.
Yeah,
to step up.
I don't know. He had a crack before, but I can't go past Bellamy.
Again.
Yeah. Just the passion.
He's got better guys to work with this time.
Yeah, I mean it didn't work before, but I think he would leave no stone unturned. I think they're missing a bit of firing. I think he'll bring it.
I sort of felt like watching it that I think there's no how the Storm were obviously dominating, and I think Solomon, as I said, he said bro, there's no room for the big guys anymore. Like you're looking at the size of the props on the Queensland pack, they're not very big, and I think that's disappeared from the game. And you look at the Penrith front row, they're not very big. Stand them next to Sean Johnson, they're almost the same height. So I think that's disappeared. The up the middle sort of stuff. It's more the meters gained on the defense, like defending the guys, trying to get on the inside. But that's what I pick up on.
Who'd you get on as coach?
I don't care, bro. I don't care, man, because I just want someone to come in and just give us a series. Because it's devaluing the state of origin. I'm buying all this gear, but it's I'm not enjoying the wearing it. It's a sad part of it,
To be honest, I was quietly hoping New South Wales would win, so it would make a better Game 3.
Yeah.
Because it was better last year.
Secretly, yeah.
Because that Game 3 last year was mean, just because of it came down to that, and it made the series better.
I reckon if there was someone to come in, but just come in as a head coach, but just to assist, I reckon you could keep Freddie and Joey there, and get maybe full goal just to have a look and him be the. Sort of this is what I expect. Sort of the remember the Titans sort of thing. Yeah. Come in, just say your words, tell your team, fucking do your job, make sure we win the fucking Game 3 up there. End of it, Because I think guys will respect that too. Or whether this crowd is too young to get, we got a series to win, man. We got a whole state behind us. But whether they know that, because I don't think that, maybe what Loy and they bring to that team is probably good for that environment. Maybe.
I think Freddie he gets a sack, but to me he always seems to be the players kind of coach, all the time. He's not shouting at anyone. He's just having fun, He's laughing and joking around with the players, sort of thing. And you compare him to a guy like Craig Bellamy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They need a bit of intensity. They need a bit of intensity out there. I don't want to compare 1B rugby to. The thing, but because our coach was away one game, and then I was just So it was me and the assistant coach. We sort of had the job today, and I had the forwards, he had the backs, and I was just, telling them like just go out there and bash them and swearing and stuff like that. And I feel like that got across a better message than a technical message. And they just started off with a better energy and attitude. So I think sometimes that's good. Like when everyone knows how to play and everyone knows their role, you telling them like to run certain lines is probably not as helpful as like just go bash your opposite opponent, get over him. If you win your battle, if everyone does that, we'll win the game. You know what I mean? Like just smash these cunts. You know what I mean? Like be dominant. In whatever way you got to do.
I
feel like that's more that
works, man.
That works more.
I had a coach. He was coaching the Ponsonby Prims many years ago, and he came and coached us. And he was the forwards coach, but as what he said during one of the when the group said disappeared, got onto the field and he pulled us insides away and he goes, "Don't worry about those fucking rip guys. Let's fucking smack them." And then he said something like, "Fuck, you think I enjoy coming down here on a Saturday fucking when it's fucking cold? Just fucking smash them."
Did it work or what?
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, what did he just say that?" And I was like, "Fucking do your job, cunt."
Yeah,
I'm doing my job. Make some fucking tackles.
But yeah, because a lot of guys worry about reputation and that, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's it, bro. Who cares, man? 2 arms, 2 legs.
I used to always like when someone goes, "Oh, but that guy he plays for Auckland, or he's the New Zealand centre," bro. I used to live off that shit. Like, what's the New Zealand centre get late hit and will stand on his hands when he's on the ground, that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But technical talking, sometimes
it's good. Like they all know how to play.
Yeah,
if you're in the Origin,
it's like telling someone you already know something. But it's like I don't hear that right now. I just want to be told, bro, this is your life on the line.
Yeah,
man.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
They need
come for your family, man.
Yeah,
there's a guy standing outside your house right now, man. Like
they need more of that. I think.
Even if you're a coach on that level, if you're a coach on Origin, if you're an Origin coach, then I think 70% of what you're doing is motivation.
Yeah, bro, definitely
70%.
It has to, man. It has to.
You're not telling them what to do. Like
that's what the training.
You got a game plan, but you don't need to go X and O's like hard out there. The training professional players, they know what to do.
Absolutely, bro. Because they that's their life. That's what the training is. That's what all the trainings are for. You do all that stuff. When he comes to the game, that's when you sort of need to jump on that. Like, all right, it's 15-0, right? There's a guy standing outside your house with a gun, ready to unload if you don't pull finger and fucking get us some points on the board, man. Like, that's what you need to hear, eh? Like, that sort of pressure, but not deflated pressure like, oh, man, literally that matchstick's gonna break the wall and fucking we're dead. Like, not that shit. Like, the shit that's like, come on, man, like, don't be remembered as the, bro, you don't want to be remembered as the team that got smashed, like,
Yeah.
Because if you watch any league rugby, right, everyone knows if the forwards win, the backs will have the space. They can do what they need to do. They have the time and that. And so at the end of the day, if you're not bashing the other team, you're going to lose. So your forwards have to bash the other team, and they're not doing that.
Yeah. That's a sad part of watching.
They don't have the time and the space, Yeah.
Sean, boys.
This turned into an Origin podcast.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Go to Warriors.
Warriors in the rain.
Hey, here's another one. Any of these Warriors players, would they have made the State Origin teams?
If Noah Blake was available, bro, I'd pick him for Queensland. I'd play him in second row. Well, if I wouldn't want. I can't even think about what's going on over there, man, because I wouldn't even pick a lot of the players in the New South.
He's an interesting case because he played one game for Kiwis and for Noah Blake.
Oh.
So he can't play. He can only go down to Tonga. I think he plays for Tonga, but he can't go across.
To Australia, play for Aussies.
And State Origin because of that one game with the Kiwis.
You reckon Noah Blake could play, if I was to pick a forward, big man, I'd play my second row, I wouldn't play my front row, and I'd take Sean Johnson across. He could play 2 positions for Queensland easy. And he's got that running game where he can create holes on the outside. Because his indirect running is probably his best game.
I'm playing NRL Fantasy, and Sean Johnson's at the top.
Is he?
Top player of NRL Fantasy. He's got the most points from everyone. So, don't know if he's in the Dally M conversation.
But it's just his running game. I mean, not his cooking game, but just his running game alone. And with the Queensland outsides, it's points. It's points, man. Points for days.
Yeah, when he has his running game going, then I mean, like I remember when coach he says like everybody has to have a running game, whether you're a half or not, because it keeps everyone honest. So when his running game's on, then it opens up his passing game,
Yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise everyone just slides when you're passing, pass, slide. But when he mixes it up, he's a bit of a but yeah, probably maybe Fanor Blake and maybe I like Zalesniak. I think he's been killing it, eh? And he plays like the Origin style. It's tough, hearty. So and Fanor Blake too, because he plays tough and he's got ball skills. But I wouldn't have anybody. Probably no one else, because I think you need to be tough. Not that they aren't tough, but like a certain style.
Yeah, maybe Bunty, maybe give him a taste, see if they run, because like I think
he runs hard.
That's a Meninga, that's a Maguire, freaking
not many run like him.
Run, that's what disappeared from the Queensland pack is the height.
I like Curran, but he's out, eh? Is he out?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but I like Josh Curran. He's pretty solid too. He's pretty good. Been one of the best, I reckon. Not lately, I think. But previously.
But you, from watching the Warriors, do you have any guys go and help the New South team?
Adam Fanor Blake, him, Sean Johnson maybe.
I like Johnson, but he gets quiet. You you never know. He's one of those ones. Like he could rip the team apart, or he could go quiet. I don't know. But no, he's having a good season.
All right, thanks, boys. Next up, so man, you're the one that put this up on our chat, the Patrick Gower show on TV3.
Oh, yes.
No issues, is it? Patrick Gower has issues.
Yeah.
Now, I've never seen the show before until you posted it up.
Yeah.
And so I watched that story of the transgender thing. And then I went back and looked at his other episodes. They're pretty good, eh?
He's got some good content, eh?
Yeah. I don't know how good. I like Patrick Gower. He's good. He's a good reporter.
He asks all tough questions,
Yeah.
Well, the stuff that people think.
Yeah. So
he's actually asking them on the show.
So I was kind of glad that he's got his own show now. And it's a pretty cool show. So he's got some good topics there. But the latest show that came on, he had a story on transgender in New Zealand. And it was kind of like he wasn't really giving his opinion on the topic. It was more of a education piece, to say what's going on in New Zealand with the transgender thing. And to be honest, when I watched that, I thought, okay, I'm gonna get educated on this, and I did at the end. I think my opinion still stands, but as everyone else. But at least, see, the thing is, I've got an understanding of it, but this sort of reinforces that understanding of what's going on.
This is gonna get Mr. Ulukala and his knickers in a twist when he share it.
Everybody can have their own opinion, right? But it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing,
Yeah.
No one's right or wrong. I watched the show and I was thinking about the episode we had when we talked about if your 12-year-old child comes up to you and asks for a sex change, as a parent, would you let that happen? Which I thought we thought was wrong at that age, right?
Yeah.
Just you're too young to make that. But we'll support you along the way. When you're old enough and you want to have a sex change, we'll still support you along the way.
Yeah.
And it will happen, But for us, we said 12-year-olds now. That's way too young.
Yeah.
And that's what we said. And we got some hate for saying that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So watching the show. I got like I said, I got more of an understanding of what this whole topic is about, in terms of what the names are and where people stand and what the struggle is for transgender. Yeah, and it's also the thing about those pills they take, like the
hormone blockers.
Yeah, the hormone blockers. The puberty.
No, puberty. Yeah, puberty. Sorry, yeah.
The puberty ones. You know. I don't agree with that. So.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought a lot of those the reporters and that they just do impartial things. They just more of like education, so you can sort of make up your own mind. It's not pro or con or whatever, and you just make So it was a good little piece because I don't really follow a lot of that sort of stuff in the media because yeah, you can't get away without offending someone, eh?
Yeah.
It's one of those ones
that's
whether
right.
you're for or against or whatever. You're gonna get hurt someone's feelings, and man, it made me it stuck with me, because like I said, I haven't done it because I watched it in the morning, just quickly before going to church, and then I felt like it was sort of lingering in my mind, eh?
Yeah.
When I went to church, you know what I mean? Because it was quite disturbing, some of the things, like 12 to 16.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of studies out there that your brain's not fully developed, you know?
Yeah.
Like care of duty, you know, like as a parent or caregiver, like I feel like you're not really doing your job by letting your kid or whoever you're looking after do something like that. But yeah, once you're, I don't know, 18 or 20, once you moved out of home or whatever, then that's your decision. But I think as a parent, you sort of got to protect them from from potentially harming themselves, and let the body naturally do what it does. And then if you want to do that afterwards, then, go hard, do what you want to do. That's your life.
The thing is,
I think for me, I have a job until my kids get to a certain age. Oh, it
That's
never
right.
ends.
that's right.
But then, it's like, all right, I don't agree with your decision, or I agree, or whatever, but you're your own person now, and, go, make your own decisions, yeah.
There are cases around the world where kids have gone through the process of taking those puberty blockers to transition later on in their lives.
Yeah.
Only to find out when they're 19, 20 that they've changed their mind. But, to reverse the process, it's really hard, physically and mentally. And a lot of them ended up committing suicide because of that.
Oh, is that right?
And that was the reason why they banned it in the UK. Because there were some cases of
They
that.
sort of left that out, eh?
Yeah, that's all left it out. But that's a big deal. And if you listen to that, the woman that does the surgeries, the only woman that does surgeries here in New Zealand,
Yeah.
she says it. Like the interview, it was Patrick A. He was interviewing her. He was suggesting to her that the people that come to this clinic, they've been through the process of screening, and she was saying, yep, absolutely, they've been screened for how many years? It's a long journey for them to go through steps to actually know what they're going to want to do, so I could trust that, these people that have gone through that surgery, of course they need to have it, you wouldn't go through all that and still want to go through it. I mean, come on, talking about.
I think if anyone's listening or watching and they don't get the gist of what the brothers are sharing, is that Patrick Gower did screen the episode, and then this is on the end of two ladies, it was the two ladies that they interviewed, transgenders, who got to the point that they're ready for the surgeries, but they've already had the breast augmentation stuff, so they're that far, and it's now getting to the sex change, which is the genitals part, and that's that one surgeon who says that she's the only one in the country who does that particular procedure, and that there aren't enough of hers to do the rest, because there's obviously a big catchment of people who want to do the surgery, but there's no one who has the skills that she has. This is like the last podcast when I said that ethnicity fits on the surgeries card, because now if you put her in the kettle of fish with other surgeons, we don't want to be behind transgender. You know what I mean? And the fact that they've done like 8 surgeries that was done by public funding, that's the sort of shit that you make you wonder, what about my uncle who needed his, limb replaced or something?
Right. Yeah,
Does that fall behind? Cause
to stay alive, or
to stay alive, or like to help his everyday life,
Yeah.
over emotional sort of like something that was created
aesthetic,
perfectly,
more of an aesthetic,
more of like a
feeling, type
a
of thing.
feeling sort of thing. Like that's why that belongs on the card of surgery, because if we let it happen, it's just gonna happen like everything else that we see in the media about the LGBT community, and that's the harsh seriousness of why we need the ethnicity sort of needs to sit on the surgery list. But I do feel for the transgender community, because that is something that they're suffering in their own self. Like if you imagine someone with no self-esteem, telling someone to believe in themselves, it can be it's like blowing a balloon with a hole in it. You can only blow so much smoke up someone's ass. If they can't see it, they're never going to see it. And if you say, okay, let's put plasters over it, it's not going to fix them long term. And that can be like the surgeries as well. If they choose to do the surgeries and they feel like they're a whole new person, and they feel like this is their purpose, this is what I was meant to be, well, that's on them to live, because they lived that life, We can only just support it, or just sort of say, okay, let it be. Because at the end of the day, if one of your kids wanted it, would you seriously say, nah, man, the day you do all of that, that's you. You do yourself. Because then, again, come surgery's list, man, these people are suffering just like many other people suffer. But it's the life-threatening sort of stuff that sort of makes it not sit as high, I feel, that's personally, over like, some of the other stuff that's going on in the world.
I think for me anyway, like being a trans, it's up to you. You can be whatever you want to be. That's fine. My issue is what happens to the 12-year-old. It's to the young kids. Like I understand if you have a son and he grows up more feminine than anyone else. And as a dad, you think, okay, he's gay. He's gonna be gay. That's cool. He can be. But then there's that gray area where they feel gay or they are gay, but they think they want to be a woman, but they're not.
Like it's a phase.
Yeah, like it's a phase,
Yeah.
but they're really gay. They don't want to be a woman. They just want to be gay. So we don't know that yet. So we're gonna wait till that settles down, so we absolutely know what they want to be with as a person.
It's like you want them to experience a bit more life before
Yeah.
they go and make something so permanent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like getting marks on your body and knowing like, I decided I don't want to wear these marks anymore.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Another thing, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And my issue is, are they hating on parents who think that? If parents are worried about their kids, that's fine. That's fine until they're 18 or old enough or whatever. But during that time when you're the parent, it's up to the parent, right?
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of the episode of Ray Donovan I watched. Like, say, for example, if the surgery happened for someone, right, in the public, like it came from public funding to happen, yet there was another, like a teen in a car accident who needed a heart transplant, and that public funding went towards the transgender, and then that person didn't live. And then he says, actually, I don't want to be this anymore. How do you weigh that up? This is one of those things like, well, fuck, why'd you do it in the first place, It's when it gets to that point, and it will get to that point eventually, but it's just like, it makes you think like, fuck, it should be like, well, maybe then they should just fund their own stuff in the public. The taxpayers just fund what we can do, because our health system's shocking, man. And it's the fact that they leaked that they did 8 surgeries. Was like, what? Surely there was someone who needed like a shoulder reconstruction. Or
Yeah.
It's just funny how the athletes get fast-tracked.
Some bowel surgery or something like that.
Something like life-threatening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think this one was like scary, man, because this one's always one scary topic to talk about, getting cancelled or getting a lot of hate and things like that. But one of the first words from the show was like, feel, I feel like this or that. And like, it's hard for me because like I'm a logical guy sort of thing. And like life, you don't feel like doing a lot of things, like getting up early. I don't feel like getting up early, and I don't feel like exercising, but I just make myself do it. I don't feel like going to work, and I feel like swearing at people, but I don't do that. My wife says stuff and I don't want to listen to it, but I don't feel like, like there's just like a lot of stuff that you can't believe in your feelings sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think, if it's still there, do you know what I mean? Like, or if it's, so I try not to act on stuff like my feelings. Obviously I get it wrong sometimes. I lash out, or you know what I mean. Like, I don't control it, but most of the times it's sending me the wrong things.
But see, you've trained yourself to know that being an adult,
Yeah.
and going through life,
Yeah.
you've trained yourself to feel, but know it's wrong.
Yeah, it's like,
no, you can't do it because I feel it, but I know I can't do it because it's wrong. You know, that knowing you can't do it because it's wrong, that gets developed through life skills.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a guy, I go out, see pretty girls and stuff like that. I don't talk to them, try to hit on them, whatever. Like, I feel like it, but I don't do it because I know it's not right. I've
But
got my
kids
wife,
do it.
I've got my kids, you know what I mean?
But kids do what they feel, because they don't know how to process the. I feel like I have to do it, but I know it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, like the feeling thing. I think yeah, like you said, when you're like 18, 20 or something like that, and if it's still there, then do whatever you feel like. But I think as a parent, you know, it's your responsibility to protect your kids from themselves. And then the other thing was like image, you know, it's a lot of it's image. You know, the surgery, I don't know, man, that's scary. Like, you know, shaving your Adam's apple down for your image, all these different surgeries, like messing around with your body. Like, man, that made me feel sick. Like, like, you know, you don't want to do that stuff unless you're dying or, you know, like you really need it, but just for a look or a feeling. I don't know. I don't know because I haven't been through that, but just from my aesthetic and I feel I don't play too much in that. Like for me, look, I got mocked growing up. I got big ears, you know. I'm hairy, you know. I got mocked and all that stuff, but I don't, you know. I was self-conscious, you know. I try to wear things on my ears to hold them in. You know, when I was a little kid, I shaved my legs and because I was being mocked and that, but then, you know, like you said, yeah, as I got older, I was like, oh, who cares, you know. I don't care, I'm hairy. That's just the way I am. And my ears is like, oh, well, that's just a part of, you know, the way I was made, you know, the way I was created, sort of thing. So, yeah, I can relate to that. There was something about the way you don't like the way you look. I think everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
In some way, you know, whether it's their hands or their feet or whatever it is, you know. You know, I work out a lot and, like, I want to build up my chest, but I can't build up my chest. My arms work more. But, like, I don't get chest implants, you know. Like, I just try to keep working on it, try to figure it out, you know. So, I don't know. I think, but, yeah, I guess these people have got things going on that I don't have going on in my head. You know, what you were sort of alluding to, that's, I guess, like a depression. Not depression, but, you know, there's something inside, like an internal sort of thing. Yeah. I don't have that, so I don't understand that side. But I think aesthetic stuff and that is very superficial to me, and surgery and all that on your body. It's because I've had surgery because I've, you know, on my knees, but that was just because my knees ligaments, you know, to feel my ligaments and my tendon, broke my hand. You know, there's surgeries, but this is not to look good. This is just to live life,
just to live,
and be functional. And I sort of see that as a necessary thing. But aesthetically, I mean, do what you want. That's your life, but not to little kids. You know, if you're an adult, then do that. But that was sort of like a couple of my main thoughts from watching it.
I get the little kid thing because what they're afraid of them getting attacked at school, and bullied at school, and all that. But you know, as a parent, if your kid's in that situation, then as a parent, you'll do whatever you can to not let that happen anyway. You know, you'll try. You know, and that's all you can do.
But I think, like, more as a society, have we got to that point where, like, that's a lot more open now? Like, those conversations are normal. Almost say, like, oh, this guy used to be a guy, this dude used to be a guy at school. Now he dresses up in drag, but now he's actually transitioning to be a woman. Like, I think, you know, with all the stuff that we do or say to our kids, like talking about being you and feeling yourself and identity and that, because, you know, then if I hope that you'd want for those people on that show was that their happiness is found, like they find happiness. But I mean, if that's their road to happiness and getting the surgeries, then you can only wish them well. Well, that's my take on it. Like, you know, you don't want someone to be unhappy in the skin that they're in, because, you know, a lot of people have suffered, like, you know, just even as young adults, about being identified in, you know, just an ethnicity but as well as your own body. Like, I can understand it. But yeah, you can only wish that, hopefully everything goes well for them.
But I think we can understand it more because we're actually talking about it. You know, and it's a show that show that we saw having that subject on there helps too, because it's all about talking about it and normalizing it, you know, and then society will get a better understanding and science will be all better for it when they, you know, you can shame those people that attack those kids and stuff like that, and those kids get they get bullied at school, stuff like that. You know, you want that to all end. You know, but then it feels like at the same time, you know, they're attacking people that are talking about it. You know,
Yeah,
Oh, that's
like-
what
it's like
that's
we're
what's
not-
more
scared
common
about it,
now.
yeah.
We're not allowed to talk about it.
That's
yeah.
more common now. Like gulas, like transgenders things not up for discussion. It's like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, we're trying to educate on it, man. And what are you doing to try and educate the world? Fuck, just relax. If I suplex you off this table, I was like, you know?
It was like a Dave Chappelle thing. Yeah, it was good, eh? Because he was, I don't know, he got his message across, I think, in a good way. His last show, I think. Yeah, just last special.
Yeah, it's like we are on their side. Hey, that's the thing. I mean, I'm on the side of do what makes you happy, do what you want to
Yeah,
do. You know,
if it makes you happy, man, do it. But it's when you start hearing but this guy wants to be a dog or an animal. When you start hearing all that stuff, that's when you go, man, what do you know about what they're going through, man? Like, damn, you must have some real life lessons that you want to share. But that's where I sort of fall off. It's more the people on the religion card trying to do that. Nah, you were this is what you were created as. I don't know.
I believe that, like, if you're male or female, that's what you are. But like, it's still your choice.
Yeah.
But I don't think.
but you can't interfere the whole family thing.
What's
You
that?
know, you can't interfere with the family, people's families. You know, you can't interfere with the decisions the parents make for their kids. Hey,
Well, that's their own thing.
yeah, you can't interfere with that.
Yeah.
You can't attack parents for trying to do what's right for their kids.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part of it now, because like, I mean, there's even discussions like, I think we saw some videos of like when Orang somebody have stepped in, like over that lady who refused to use COVID, the COVID vaccine blood, stuff like that. Like when the courts have stepped in and said, like, you know, you're failing as a parent, so the courts will not step in and run that stuff. Like even to see all that stuff happen, or next to something like, you know, someone wanting to do this exchange, like we're in a world like that stuff's happening, and that's sort of like hard to bite, you know. It's like where do you actually try and like dissect that conversation, or like how do you actually help those families? Because man, yeah, like you said, like, you know, your job as a parent is to do what's right for them, you know. But I feel like, yeah, when the courts step in, I know Kido, she's like, you know, those decisions aren't done by moral or belief. It's all on the better outcome for the children. And like sometimes it could be the wrong one, eh? And
Like, does a 12-year-old know more than a 4-year-old? Of course. You know, does a 16-year-old know more than an 8-year-old? Of course. It's the same as like as a parent. You know more than your kids. You know, you've lived life. You've been through those things. So that you're just there. You're loving your kids and you're guiding them. Like, if I just let my kids do what they want, they'll just play video games and eat rubbish all day. You know what I mean? Like, I have to tell them what to do to protect them from themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I get them to read and exercise and play and get outside. They won't do that on their own. Like, sometimes they will, like here and there, but generally not. They'll probably harm themselves more. Do you know what I mean? Like, they love their YouTubes. You know what I mean? Like, so I think, you know, this, you know more as a parent. You know what I mean? So once they become an adult, then, hey, do what you want to do, sort of thing. Eh?
yeah, they just got to bite their time, eh?
Yeah.
Sweet boys, that's that done.
That's good. That's good.
Dick, mate. Dick, mate.
That one was scary, man. I don't like that one. It's like talking about it because you always get like,
But I mean,
you always
the more
get
you,
hate comments. Eh?
nah, but I mean, the more you talk about it, man, the more educated and the more you
Yeah.
might see a different perspective
Yeah.
on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because like not everyone's perspective is like the same. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
not one particular perspective is right, you know?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, it's good to hear. But yeah, it is a tough, you know, conversation.
I think it's tough because it's like it's sort of new, eh? That's why
It's new, and I like you always said it, man. A lot of workplaces are just doing the ticking the boxes sort of thing, you know. So it's like good to have your gun ready and unload and shoot your shot.
But it's good to see. It's good to watch that story on Patrick Gower has issues and that transgender that was featured in the story, her journey, where she is now, a really good place. Happy for
Yeah,
her.
bro.
Happy for her.
She's beautiful, man. She's a beautiful lady. I even sat there with my daughter, watched the first 10 minutes of it, and I go, boy or girl? She was like, No, I'm gonna say lady. I go pretty guy. Yeah, you're like what? Sure, it's like yeah, trans. I go she's pretty as.
Okay, next segment we haven't done in a while. What's on social media? What's been on your phones when you're in the whaliwila and you're scrolling on your phones? What's been getting your attention?
I think the algorithm's been basketball lately for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I read the Mamba mentality book.
Oh yeah.
So
How was that?
That's me there. It's like
That's Kobe's picture book, eh?
Yeah. It's really good. So it's just like a lot of mean pictures from one of the photographers, and then Kobe just sort of explains what that was about, what he was thinking, or what was happening. He sort of goes dives deep into the picture. So now it was me, and then so from then after the book, then I started like watching old Kobe videos and interviews and all that sort of stuff, and then that like sort of makes me go into other parts of. It sort of connects with the Bulls, because he's Phil Jackson. So I was looking at Phil Jackson stuff, and then you got it in the triangle. So that's been on my algorithm a lot. Kobe into the Bulls, triangle, and Phil Jackson. Yeah.
That's what makes me put Kobe in front of Michael Jordan in terms of their comparing their careers, because at least Kobe Bryant told us his mentality. Michael Jordan didn't even tell us anything.
Not until it was tucked away.
He didn't want us to know what makes him tick.
It was clear in the Last Dance. His was always looking for.
But Kobe's Mamba mentality came before Last Dance.
Yeah, but like it's just a different way to get to the same result, right?
Yeah.
So Kobe created his thing, and Jordan used a comment or something in the paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they sort of Jordan's getting into his thing.
It was the same sort of sort of like I don't know what you
Jordan's just finding it through a different way.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to the greatest of all time, it's 100% Michael Jordan. Comes to the career of all time, compared to those two, I give it to Kobe for the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, I think he just, if anything, he honed his own version of it because he saw Jordan's career, I feel, and he got to see their era of players, and he just had a bit more technology and a lot more, because back then they wouldn't have been tape.
Yeah.
It would have still been new in the 90s, early 90s, late 90s.
Yeah. It was interesting, reading the book. I highly recommend it for any coach or athlete, because you'll learn about your own preparation if you're an athlete still, or if you're a coach on how to prepare athletes and things to look out for. So he has a lot of great tips, and from reading that, then his preparation from what I've seen from that in The Last Dance, it was a lot more than what Jordan did. But Jordan, I think he was more freer in a way. Kobe was more obsessed. He would look at every single detail. He watched all his games back to see where he could have did better, what the defense was doing. Whereas I think Jordan did some homework in that, but he was out playing golf and
gambling.
Gambling. But then when he would come, he would be probably fresher, almost. So his approach was just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was doing business McDonald's things, and he's running his Nike brand, and so he was still busy. But I think he still had the same the dedication. But Kobe took it to another level in terms of footwork and just every detail of the game he'll break down, and his opponents he'll be I'm playing this guy. He's slow going left. He doesn't jump on when you bite on jump shots, for head fakes. He'll just look at all those type of things.
Yeah.
And I was wow, that's mean. I need to step my game up as a as an athlete and as a coach. And those details, his obsession is none I've ever seen. Even warfare, it's almost, watching all his videos, he would, because he could speak different languages. So if he was playing a player that was from that language, he would say some stuff to them, and
a lot of videos of him.
Free throw, just he would think of any little thing to get his guys either motivated on his own team or the opposition put off. And whereas I feel Jordan didn't do that as much. It was more as it came, someone attacked him, then he would talk trash, or if he read something in the paper that they said about him, he would be oh yeah, he'll remember that and then come at them. So yeah, that's what's been on my social media, and then it sort of it goes from there.
Have you let's?
Oh man, shout out to the Hollywood husband of the Samoan, bro. Fucking really loving this content, eh? Man, he posted go slow, reverse car, or the car.
What is that, Hollywood? What is
the Hollywood husband of the Samoan, the hot analysis guy.
Oh, okay.
He's just a voiceover, so he just does voiceovers of like videos, but he's obviously speaking in Samoan.
Oh, is it the funny one?
The funny guy.
Oh, yeah.
I saw his last one, but just put on Insta and just that on Insta, because I noticed that he posts more on Insta than his Facebook page. But on Facebook, the Cinderella challenges, man. The verses.
The voices?
The verse. Like J King does his verse, and then you come up with your own verse. So I've been watching a shitload of those, because a lot of them are pretty good, eh? Like renditions. So it's just his song's 2 minutes. He'll sing the intro, and then he'll point to you. And it's like, I think it's a TikTok. And then you do your bars. So you can sing it, rap it, do whatever. So I was like just on the hunt for a good one of those, and I came across one. It's a chick, man. I think she's from Mangere, but yeah, the best version cut up that I've seen so far. But yeah, there's thousands of them, bro.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I just asked the kids like, have you seen any good ones? And then I've heard a few Samoan rap ones, and I'm like, nah, that was dink, man. But yeah, this one chick, she dropped her one. I think her name's Oi Ma'au. She's on Twitter. I saw that one. Fuck, it's fire, man. But I'm just waiting for someone to just do a collab. And then I went on to YouTube, and someone did like a reel of all the 1 minute videos and just put 15 of them together, just playing the song. But man, the song's fire, eh? Like fucking, I reckon this, I don't know, the 685 to the world, I reckon this is gonna leapfrog it, eh? Because more people are getting involved. Like, there's obviously trending just on TikToks, but because I saw Steve Situ even did one. Someone page shared his one, but his one was like a straight mock, and it sounded like he was doing the one outs, which is good. But yeah, I just been joining my whole weekend and that, eh? Like, that's pretty good, man. Shout out to Waitemata Rugby Club, man. Dropped their haka, eh? 20 years from when they last won the Gala Shield, and they unleashed their new club haka. So that was pretty cool. Waitemata, yeah. It's been, was it 2023 or 2020? I think there's like 8 Castonians in their team. But yeah, they unleashed their haka yesterday.
Where's the competition now? Are we still round robins, or?
I think it's leading into the Galahad Shield, or was it the Waka Nathan? No, it'll be Galahad Shield, eh? But I don't think they're sitting anywhere finals contention, maybe outside the top 4. Last time I checked.
So boys, next up, we got Fia Poko of the week, or sick can of the week.
Yes, the article of those cops, the one inside the they had that Meoli guy. They handcuffed him, put him in the back of the cop car, and then the cop car sudden brake, and
the prisoner went forward and hit his head on the...
Yeah, and he was handcuffed. So he had his hands behind his back, eh? So there was no way he was going to stop himself from falling. And in the end, the cop finally pulled over 4 minutes down the road. So he's obviously driven some distance from when he slammed the brakes on. And then he goes to help him up, and the guy's saying, it's clear as, eh? He goes, I can't move. Fucking, they're like, fuck, get up. Stop being a dog, get up, man. And then they took him to the station, man. And then the two fingers, they try and help him up. Like, they opened the door, fuck, he literally just fell. And they just picked him up, dragged him to the cell. And they're like, oh, don't worry, Amber's on his way. In the recording, there's like 2 more minutes of it, and he doesn't even move, bro. This dude's paralyzed. Yeah, so back, I was like thinking to myself, because we was going to talk about it last week, but this guy, I can't remember how much he sued the police station for, or the
45 million.
45 mil.
He's paralyzed now.
He's paralyzed. Yeah. He's paralyzed. But man, that's got to be front runners kind of the week, man. Like all the cops involved, and then it was heartless, eh? Because this dude was just sitting in the back of the paddy wagon, slammed on the brakes, and then that was his last. The fact that the world can see that was the last moment that he actually could feel his feet.
Yeah, the weird thing is, they've got the camera in the paddy wagon filming everything, so they know what happened.
Yeah. But
there's
he had his body cam on.
But like, there's no TV in the front where they couldn't see.
True.
Like, no one saw it live.
Yeah.
Hey. See, that's dumb.
But man.
But the way the cops came out of the car and came out of the paddy wagon, opened the doors, and he's there, he's head down on the ground, like lying on the ground. Telling him to get up. He won't get up because I can't move. And then they jump up, force him up, you know. Stop lying, get up, you know.
But how many actual athletes can do that?
But you know,
be face down, hands behind your back, and try and stand up.
Well, you know, when injuries happen on the rugby field, and you know the ambulance comes and you know the paramedics come, whenever they're so delicate.
Yeah.
Player, eh?
Like keep your head straight, or keep your neck in a brace, sort of thing.
You know, they spend 10, 15, 20 minutes trying to get him up on the stretcher, eh? Because they're real delicate of it. Because it might be the vertebrae, you know, and the neck. You know, they got to be real delicate. Man, there's nothing in the case of this guy, man.
These men, all of us just fucking pick him up like a dirty rag, man.
You know,
gossel him all the way to the shower, to the south side. They drop him as well. Fucking it. They try to sit him up on the chair, man. He can't even freaking. So imagine if you're paralyzed and you can't even fucking move. Fuck, this guy's so sad,
and then they slide him in the cell because he still can't get up. They slide him in the cell and handcuff him and close the door on him, and he's on the ground. And that's
sick, man.
That's sick, man.
That is like straight up sick kind of the weeks. These guys.
But I'm glad you said to me after you put that up that's exactly on that episode of Yellowstone, eh?
Yeah.
But they die at the back of the
and they changed the
horse shed.
Yeah. Fuck, yeah, that's sad.
So I don't know if he got his 45 million or that's what he's suing for, but I hope he gets it.
Oh, he deserves it, man. Like he's gonna have to have so much assistance. But what was your comment there? Did you leave a comment on the thread?
No, there was the other one.
Another one.
If I were to, I would say only in America.
Only in America, man.
Only in America. All right, boys. Any programs you guys been watching during the week, or any movies?
Oh yeah, we watched the King Richard thing.
Was it the Serena Williams coach, the dad? The coach?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's more on him. Like,
okay. Is this the one on Demand?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So we watched it a couple of nights ago, me and my wife. That was mean, eh?
Is it a mini series or is it just a one?
That's a one movie.
Thing,
okay.
Yeah.
And it's actually him talking, not Will Smith.
No, it's just him. Yeah, like all footage throughout the years, cut up and put together.
Was it a documentary?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Oh.
And then, so like, there's always obviously like old footage of him talking and at games and things like that. And as the girls are growing up, and then also like now, like he's sort of telling the story as well. But no, that's pretty mean, Pretty mean. So we love the movie King Richard, with Will Smith. We love that, and then because we're sort of like got 2 daughters and stuff, like we're doing our plan and stuff like that. And then my wife looks at me like halfway through, she's like, "Have you got a book?" Because he has a book like it's 70 something pages of like his plan for his girls and stuff like that. But it's quick. He has some like funny ass lines in the movie because like. Like how are the people in Compton, because after I think they won some tournament, Venus or Serena, can't remember. But he's like, they'll be happy, they're having some bit of weed and a few drinks. And, he talks real, man, like not too many words, but to the point. And then, other one, like, how he wanted his last 2 daughters, because he has heaps of kids.
Oh, true.
Yeah. But he saw a white lady, I can't remember the tennis player, but she won a tournament, and she won like 40K. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm in the wrong industry." And then so he wanted to have 2 more kids, and his wife wasn't keen. So he goes, this is an interview too. And he's like, "I'll take my wife out on a nice date, and I would hide her pills." And that's what he did to have his 2 more babies to play tennis. Sure. He goes, 40K in one day, and I'm making 50K a year. I'm in the wrong industry. And he's like, I wanted to have 2 more kids. And then he would just read books and stuff and just research hard. And he even got tennis lessons. It doesn't show it in the Will Smith movie, but he learned how to play as well, so he could teach his girls. And then there's a guy in the background. There's a picture. He looks like a pimp. It's like a black dude, and he's like teaching Richard how to play tennis and stuff. And so so when his girls got older, he knew how to play and how to teach them and stuff like that. But like, it was awesome, man. He goes down as like pretty much he's like the best coach ever, really, right, in tennis. But he doesn't really get that recognition.
Yeah.
You know, he had other coaches like later on as the girls got older. There's another guy who's really influential, but you know they were really good by the time they got to this guy.
The bread and butter is pretty much from
like they're like 16 or something like that, 14, 16. But that's 7 years of just him or whatever. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And then he's still around, and just man, because his parents and him, they were the cotton fields and all that sort of stuff.
Damn.
So he came from that era.
Yeah.
There was a lot of racism back then. Him coming up and his girls, and they paved the way. All the coloured athletes coming through now, it's more safer and it's more accepted. Naomi Osaka and a couple of other athletes. It's all good now. But back then, they were getting a lot of racial slurs and stuff. So watched that, and then what was the other one that was mean? We watched the Arnold one. I don't know if you guys
I started watching that.
Yeah. So we watched that. So those are probably the last two series. I love the Arnold thing because I read his book as well, Turtle Recall.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool in the documentary because there's some different parts because it's more current too. So the book was a little bit older, so it has some more current things like what he's up to, and then it has his affair in that. In the book, it doesn't have his affair.
Oh, yeah.
So it has some details of that's not in the book, but a lot of it is the same. But then it just paints the picture better.
Yeah.
Of his life. Wow, like that guy's the man. All the things he did and that.
Shucks, yeah.
His vision and.
It's pretty sad about his brother. His brother passed away, but his journey of trying to leave Austria and go on his own and try to make it to America.
Yeah,
that was mean. Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should watch it, man.
It's good, man.
Yeah. I think it's like 3 parts, I think it's 3 parts,
So the first one's about his bodybuilding. Second part is about his movie acting. The third one is when he's the governor.
Yeah.
But I feel I watched the first one and watched halfway through the second one. But I really like the first one, the bodybuilding journey.
Yeah.
How he wanted to be the best.
Yeah. But
I learned about the Mr. Olympia. I didn't know that was an amalgamation of all the
different competitions.
What was the other ones?
Because there was the Europe one, and then the American one or something like that.
Mr. Universe,
Yeah.
And then the champions of those goes to Mr. Olympia. Yeah. But he won like 10 in a row or something.
I think
7.
7. Yeah, I think it was 7.
Yeah. I think like Ronnie Coleman beat that.
Yeah, I think 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
A few of them got. Haney got 7 or something. A few of them got 7 or thereabouts. But yeah, those are the 2 shows that I've watched lately. Yeah.
Sweet. How about you, Ness?
Oh man, still carrying on from my Ray Donovan, bro. Fuck, that guy's the man. I'm on season 5 now.
Wade Donovan?
Ray Donovan.
Which was that one?
He's a Mr. Fix-It.
All right, yeah.
It's like, say for example, we're driving and we run someone over, and you're like, "Fuck, man, I'm on my learning license. I'm tricking news." He's the guy we ring. Yeah, and then we ring that guy, bro.
MacGyver.
Oh, right, but his because this one he used to work for himself, and he used to just do like athletes, actors. Yeah. This time round, someone's got a bigger bankroll than him, but he's never been on good terms with his old man. But it's the lady that he's working for now bailed him out on some like serious money, but she's fucking powerful. It's amazing because she runs New York.
Ooh, true.
So yeah, I think it's like if there's a whole lot of billionaires sitting at the table, everyone knows her.
All right.
So like her and Ray at the moment, they're trying to make a governor. So that's what they're doing. They have the power to do it.
They're trying to choose someone.
Yeah, like so they've got this chick and she needed help, and Sarah employed Ray, and Ray was out of the game. He's like, "Nah, fuck, I'm not. Fuck it, I'm gone into hiding." And then he got John Wick back into the game, and she gave him a job, and that was to get fix the senator's fuck up. And all it was, she just met a guy and he recorded them, and he said, "I'm gonna leak it, but I want $1 million." Ray shows up and he's fucking out of shape. He's like, he's been in hiding for like a few months. Yeah. And then Sarah goes, "If you come work for me, I'll look after you." And then, it works out for him. He ends up working for her, goes back to his brother's gyms, gets into shape. And then, his family life starts to start falling into place. But it's just the dream that when he said yes to Sarah, and she's like, "We're going to make the next governor." And it's just all the stuff that they sort of do to make it happen, man, which is pretty cool. It's like, wow, man.
Is it based in New York, is it?
Oh, it was in LA because they're
Okay.
originally from Boston,
Yeah.
but they moved to New York. Yeah, but just all the scenery, man, it's pretty real. It's pretty good.
Because my wife watches all the stuff based in New York. She likes watching the scenery and stuff.
Yeah, the
Just
scenery
the
is
buildings
mean.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that called? The show?
Ray Donovan. It's on
Oh, okay.
Sky 5, Channel
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
Been watching that, and then I started watching Yellowstone, but it's on season 3 though. But yeah, that's pretty good. Like, man, the fight scenes, I just watched the fight scene where, was it Masai? I just know him as Masai because the Hollywood husband called him Masai. But actually, his face, though,
Rip. Yeah.
he's from the American. Is he from? Because I thought he was from American History X. He's actually from Higher Learning. You know, on Higher Learning. He is,
Yeah, he's the skinhead.
He's the one who goes fucking Remy,
He's a skinhead.
Yeah, he's a skinhead, man.
Yeah.
And he clicked today because on this episode that I watched this morning, there were these bikies they pulled up on Yellowstone and they're having a barbecue, and then that's when my side jumps off he comes with his truck, he saws them, it's fucking better to leave. If you didn't leave, fucking gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
And then they were talking like, bro, these guys gonna come back here? Yeah, fuck, we'll camp out. So they camp out. And then Kevin Costner's sitting there with his gun there.
Mm.
And they show up and they go, oh, so he's gonna burn my field.
Yeah.
Bro, and he goes, remember what my guy said to you? If you come back, you're gonna be here forever. And then he gives them the shovels, hey, go start digging. Where they come out with their guns, they fucking crack up. But that's a good thought. That's a good series, man.
The end of that season was good.
Oh yeah, because they're trying to build an airport on Yellowstone, and the Indians have agreed. So yeah, it's up to that. But yeah, any of that. Yeah, Ray Donovan. I'm trying to catch up in a bit of Shorty. Bro, it's still good, bro. It's still bloody good, man. So I got
Still got the goods.
one more episode to watch. So yes, I think it's the departure of TK, which is pretty sad.
I've been wanting to watch the what's the Shopper Adams, Valerie Adams. I've been wanting to watch her documentary. I just
Oh yeah.
haven't been able to find. Yeah, man. I'm more on the sports docos and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff. I love
those
all
are
that
good
stuff.
ones, eh?
Yeah, but I want to watch that Valerie. I heard it was good. So been
There's
trying
heaps
to-
on Prime. Sports docos, have you got
Yeah.
Prime? Amazon Prime?
I don't know. I usually just go, oh, can you find this? My wife, she just finds it. I don't understand at all. And I'm like, if we got to pay for it, just pay for it. I don't care. I want to watch
Yeah.
it.
Because
You know?
there's some documentary I want to watch. It's about Muhammad Maktoum
Abdul Rauf. Yeah.
Rauf. Eh?
Yeah.
Have you seen that documentary?
Oh, no. One of my mates keeps telling me to watch it. I watched some of it, but
It's called Stand Up or Stand.
all right.
Stand.
Yeah. I
'Cause
watched
he-
some of
he-
his interview and it was
He
like,
was the original Colin Kaepernick. Okay.
was he?
Like he did what Colin Kaepernick did
Oh, right.
ages ago, but didn't get any story. Didn't get any story. You
Was
know?
it-
He
video I
didn't.
watched on
He
him, it
didn't
was
sing the
more-
national anthems
Oh, okay.
in the NBA games.
He was Muslim or something, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. The video I watched from him was just more from his like work ethic type of point of view. I
Mm.
didn't get into that side of things, but
'Cause he was a Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
yeah. I think he played Denver, eh? Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played for Denver. Sweet boys, time for a local hero.
Man, this is a tough one, but one that I feel that needs to be acknowledged. So my WesWes Networks hero is a doctor who's actually passed away. So he passed away in 2020. He was probably one of the first New Zealand residents who'd passed away from COVID. He was an actual doctor practitioner in Mount Wellington. He had his own little clinic set up. But the reason why I chose Dr. Joe Smith is that I actually come across the Tangata Pacifica video, and it shows him and the work that he did around eczema and the eczema that existed in the community. So this guy had done a lot of work with Indian, Filipino, Samoan, and he really did study his work. One part of the back end of his career before he went back to the Cook Islands, he actually made the news, and he got suspended from for prescribing high doses of steroid and skin care creams. And he actually stood before the court. He actually didn't win the decision, and he got thrown a $145,000 fine. But the uproar of the community that came to his aid in his time, which was like, man, you think about a lot of people that do good work in the community, And I know like eczema was one of the toughest ones because a lot of people go to eczema and they see dermatologists and all that stuff and nothing comes of it. Nothing ever helps. But Dr. Joe Smuffy, Dr. Joe Williams, he found his way around that. He made it happen. And for him to do it, he actually went against the advice of senior doctors who were telling him, man, these are high doses. But for the way his back in his career ended in New Zealand, and then all those people that came forward, and it wasn't just hundreds, it was probably thousands of families who were cured of their skin conditions, all because of his research and his work. And I've had eczema, and my wife and my kids have had it, and we didn't go to the extremes of some of the photos that surfaced on the Tangata Pacifica segment, but just the work that he had done, and this guy's no longer around. He died at the age of 85. But I can only imagine, because some of these babies had eczemas right all over, everywhere of their body. And you see the before and afters just after a few months of treatment from him. Man, you'd be thinking to yourself, man, this guy's a walking saint, man. Because if you can imagine a kid with a nappy rash and how worked up a baby can get, an infant. But these kids, man, and this one man's research and his ability to go against the grain and not listen to people, and he made it happen. And the saddest part is that he was part of the Rarotonga government at one point in his life. He actually came to New Zealand, educated himself, and then he went back. He went to Hawaii, finished his masters, and he came back to run his clinic. But just the back end of his career, the way it was sort of shone in the media and stuff. But he's local hero to me, for us, because I've had eczema, and it can be tough. But just the work that he done, man, should never be forgotten. Is the fact that as a Polynesian man who's done the work that he done and saved a lot of those families from, having real bad skin. So to me, he's the WesWes Network local hero, man, and rest in peace to his heart and his soul, man, and condolences to his family, man, because people who passed away during COVID, man, they should never be forgotten, and this is like everyone else's family. So yeah, Dr. Joe Williams, man, you're our WesWes Network local hero, and may your heart and soul rest in peace for the work you've done for our communities.
Yeah, I heard of him. I guess a lot of people heard of him, and the work. So I didn't know him personally, but yeah, I just heard he'd done a lot of great work in the communities, and yeah, had a big effect. So I heard it was the man.
Yeah, right. Hey, some of those images, man, I was like, let's not go to the local doctor. Let's go to a specialist. Eh?
Yeah.
See, for him to cure a lot of those babies, man, shucks. You didn't even hear that sort of story in our country now. It's unheard of.
Yeah. What I heard was people would try their local stuff and it wouldn't work. And then they would be like, oh, go check out this guy out.
Yeah.
Is it Mel Wellington, was he?
Mel Wellington.
Yeah. And then people go out there and, treat them and, give them good advice and prescription or whatever. Yeah. I'm now just finishing up at Avondale. There's a bit of a legend. I thought there was there. I think it was the last week we had an assembly and the boys did a haka. And that was probably one of the highlights I saw. Because the girls did their part as well. And it was the rugby team, but they also got some of the kapa haka boys. They taught them. But last year when we were doing the rugby, we wanted to revive the haka because the haka hadn't been used at Avondale for years. So the coach and that JB and Peter Hitter, they researched, found the old video and then sort of found the meaning because one of the boys he's fluent in Te Reo and that, so he figured out when we went to camp, he taught the boys what it meant and all that, and then started practicing it, and then the boys did it a few times throughout the year, but it didn't quite have the right mana in that yet, because it was sort of new, it was being revived, but then the boys have been winning a few games. I think we only won one game last year. I think the boys have won about 5 this year. And then when they did it, they were different. They were confident. You could feel the mana and just they've been asked to do the haka a few times. Just when the school will have different events, they'll take a few boys to sort of represent the school, And I guess other schools do hakas and that too. And so I was like, man, just the ripple effects of that. So I guess the coaches was Joseph Buchanan, JB. I guess bit of a local legend. He's there, runs academy, he stays late, either with his own team or just helping other students. with sports and stuff like that. But it's all extra, no extra, he doesn't get paid for any of this sort of stuff. But yeah, just the effects. And then the thing that I first thought was the scripture, vision, where there is no vision, the people perish. And I think like that was one of the things I learned to love Avondale, but I feel like they didn't have much of a vision. And I feel like he had a vision, and, only 2 years, like the vision, that's only a part of it. There's other stuff too. But seeing it come to life, I was like, man, I was really touched there. Got a bit emotional and stuff, and I was really inspired by that, the vision. And like along the way, it was tough, man. Like last year, we only won one game, last game of the season, training in the rain, the things not going your way, things not working out. We were getting pissed off, we're losing, and some guys weren't committed to the team and that. And then this year, there was a lot of work from last year. It carried over. And then it started to come to life. And even now, like talking to the coaches, Coach Dom, he's one of the other coaches as well. And he was saying like, we're getting, there's 2 games they lost really close. And then they're getting pissed off. But sometimes your vision doesn't go exactly the way you want. But it's happening. That's what, when I saw the Haka, I was like, it hasn't been a smooth journey. It's been really bumpy and hasn't gone to plan. But there's a vision, and the things are happening, things are moving, and things are happening in ways that you don't really understand, so yeah, shout out to JB, all the extra work he does in his own time that he doesn't have to do to help the students, and a lot of it because he doesn't like social media and that, so he's not really posting. He doesn't post about anything. He's real like face to face. Like if your kid's around and they need help, he'll help that kid if he has, if he can. More like that, just sort of undercover. It's not really big, and it doesn't just help the stars in that. It's like whoever, sort of, what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's the local hero for me, I guess, finishing up at Avondale that I saw. And yeah, it inspired me, like vision, like I've had visions and then sometimes I don't, So it's sort of like, it was a good reminder, to keep having a vision and not to be discouraged when you can't see it or it's not going to plan, but it will come to life in one way or another, or, like keep your head up for those others that are out there. And maybe, we want it to be further along, but it's not, it's going in the right direction. The trajectory is going the right way. Things are moving. Yeah. So that's my local hero.
Shout JB.
Shout JB. Thanks, boys. Let's do some last words. Let's go, let's.
Oh man, my last words is man, it's been an interesting week, while it's been cold. But I also found that being cold has actually told me to focus on myself and not worry about the stuff out of my control. I found that being able to just sit on the couch in front of the TV and be content and happy has really helped my drive in terms of like setting new goals, and also like just opening up my eyes to like stuff that I could be doing more of, if that makes sense. So I spent the last probably 2 hours of my night last night, just me and my wife just going through a whole lot of boy band songs and country songs. So I started listening to Fleetwood Mac, and I hadn't done it in a long time because she's on shift work. But my last words would be like to anyone who's like missing out on time with their loved ones, especially like their partners. Man, get in front of the TV and get a warm blanket. Make sure the kids are all fed and in bed, and just spend their quality time just watching and reminiscing about your past, man. Because there's one thing that I haven't done enough of is reflecting. And like my daughter's over in Oz, and it's so funny that she's chasing her boyfriend around, and she's working girl, studying. But like 20 years ago, we wouldn't have thought that our daughter would be ever in Oz chasing the guy. And like we sit there and reminisce through all the music that we listened to back in the day, and we just laugh at it. We just laugh at that. Man, where's time gone? Because like you don't take notice of it, but when you're living it and then you reflect on it, you actually appreciate it a bit more. So like, yeah, it's my last words is, man, reflect and appreciate your loved ones, man, because we aren't promised tomorrow, but I believe enough that if you spend that time wisely, you'll appreciate it that much more. So there's my last words.
Nice. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I guess tying all the school thing in as I'm sort of moving on, I saw some things, I don't think one way is right or the other. Like I saw a lot of teachers will put more time into like the students then there probably some of them were put into their own kids. And I don't think it was tough because to see, as a parent, and then like I remember my uncle would put a lot of time into me and my brothers and stuff like that, but he had 2 boys as well, and so they maybe missed out on some love or time because they were putting into me and my brother as well. So they're both good, and it's just something I think maybe to try to be aware of if you're not aware of it, like the time you're putting into your kids or your passion and all that. I'm not saying to do one or the other or what's right or what's wrong, but just to be more aware of it. Because like when I first joined Avondale, I was putting more time in, like to the basketball and sports and things like that. And then I became more aware of it. Like even with the gym, before I had the gym, it was more the gym, obviously that's why I got out. And then I sort of was falling back into my old trap. And then, I sort of was a little bit more aware and then, got out of that. And now I feel like I'm more like my own kids first for the first time, and my wife, and then everything else. Whereas it's always been like, I guess in the beginning it was me first, and then the sports and stuff, Then I got married, and it was, to be honest, it was still me, and then my sports and passions. But now, like for the last maybe a year, it's been, my wife and my kids first, then those things. So I'm not trying to preach one way or the other, just to be aware of it. Because without my uncle putting into us, we got ahead. So it's hard because these people really do care about the kids, the students and stuff like that. So they're not doing bad work, but then I don't know how to juggle it at the right time or whatever. But someone's gonna miss out, eh?
Yeah, that's their sacrifice.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there's a time like that the kids at school, there's a important assignment or a sporting event. It's like, hold on, kids, I know I love you, but I just got to do this, finish this thing. And, whatever it is, I don't know. But don't just carry on with that. Or, it's a hard one. But I guess that's just something I've learned and observed throughout my 3.5 years at school and become more aware on. And it's tough, man, because I do enjoy it, the basketball and the rugby, and I do miss it. But like now that I'm not as involved, like I take my girls to gymnastics and things like that. So, and then I'm more my relationship with my wife is better because she's not as angry, like me being away so much, So there's trade-offs, and I guess there's times for both. But trying to figure it out, it's tough. But yeah, that's sort of what I want to sort of share from what I've experiencing and finishing up at Avondale. Yeah.
Nice. Sure, boys, man, this is a good one. We've made it to the end. So my last words is say thanks to all the listeners who are listening in. And if you are listening and you made it this far, go up to this page and you want to help us out, press the donate button on our website, www.weswesnet.com. For, I think, cheaper than the price of a beer, you can help support the WesWes Network. So hopefully you guys can do that. But for me, Cams and the boys, have a good week and let's get the fuck out of here.